Evening chaps, evening Paul, evening Stuart, and everybody else, how you doing? Oh, back again. Forgot the time last week, and by the time I realised, Paul reminded me it was car scaled shed, and then I realised that it was too late to start it because I'd forgotten the time. So apologies for that one. Didn't mean to forget, but I did. It's what it is. But the Dora is one thing. It's going to be here for a good while, so we shall be fine. Soldier on, as they say. So, last time we got, what did we do last time? We got all this bump on here, all this section here, and we started chucking bits on everywhere, on the sides and all that. There's some little starry kind of ones to go on, and there's a little thing over here as well to go on. Evening Chris, how you doing chap? No worries Stuart. So next on the build, I'm assuming, will be these little star things on this here. These need putting on, little star thingamajigs. There's 1, 2, 3, should be 4 of them. And then you've got this little section here as well to build that goes around. And then we'll put this wood deck on. So that's what we'll do. We'll get the little stars on first of all. And then we'll make a start on the top bit. So B14s. I'll find my B sprues. A, C's, G's. And G's out there's B's. There should be some stars on here somewhere. Oh no, that's B1 to 13, so I'm really wanting B14, and that's C's. Where on earth's the B's? The bumblebees. Where's the bees gone? In this lot. We've got so many bits of plastic everywhere. Not many bits to this kit. Trying to find all the bits in the front. Right, that's that. I'm going to have to look, figure out which sprue looks like for B's. B14 sprue. You got the parts, you know, where it shows you the sprue, so that helps. Right, B13 wheels. B14 with the wheels. Right, okay. So they're in this bag. My little stars. There they are. That's why you can't find them. In a little bag. Here it is, Scott. Right, 1, 2. Oh, there's some here as well. Happy days. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And just while I'm here and doing that, I'm going to need one more, because I did notice that on that kit, that other one that I built, I have one where I forgot to put it on, and there's a little blighter there, so I shall glue that one on as well while I'm here. Evening, Joe. How you doing, chap? Alright. So I'm going to stick this one on this one because I forgot to put it on. When I was showing you it on here, I forgot that there should be one on this side. And we'll just pop that on while I'm at it, and then I don't forget. Ooh. I have no idea what all this top fans thingamajig is that's come up on YouTube. So I've got number 1 fan and number 2 fans, and don't know what's that all about. So we'll whip them little stars on to start with. I don't know what they do. I'm sure somebody very technical might know. I'm sure they play a very important part somewhere along the line back in the day. Ooh. Bit of good news on that one where I forgot to turn the live off. It has saved it, but it's like 30 hours or something like that. It's like 38 hours or something out of the 2 days that it was left running by mistake. So you do still get to see the hour, but I can't crop it down to just an hour and get rid of the wasted bit. And that's life. At least we didn't lose it all. There we go. So we've got our little stars on there. You can see them there. That, I don't know what they're for. There's one on there as well. So there's 4 of them. I want it that way around for a minute. And I'll pop my little wood deck on there now, because we can. I want 034C1. That's definitely the C1. And that will definitely be the 34. Double check. I'll carry on. Yeah. Sorted. We'll get this sorted out. Remember each plank on this, so hi you. How you doing, Candy Graham? Alright, pal? Keeping well, I hope. So I'm just nipping off these planks so I can stick that on as well. And then we'll start on that top piece. It goes across. Yeah. Oh yeah, and that little cranny winch thing on the side as well. We'll get that on. Right, let's get this cut off first. Lots of cuts on this because you've got to cut every slat. So it just takes a minute, if you remember on the last one. There's no easy way of going about this. And this side, and then that's it. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of slats on here when you're sitting there cutting it off like this. Makes you realise. What I'm surprised about is, you know how aftermarket wise, you know, on a ship or kit or whatever, on a, you know, like on turpits and all that kind of stuff, you can get the wooden decks as aftermarket. I'm surprised nobody's done a wooden deck kit for this, if I'm honest. There we go. Kind of a weird shape. You got a big old hole in there. You have to cut all the way along. Quite fiddly. So this bit, maybe on here somewhere. Like that, I believe. Yeah, like that. What's annoying is it doesn't never sit flat. And then this one always manages to fall apart on me. We'll go in here. Something like that. Something on that bit. It's not playing ball. I'll put that bit off. We'll see what happens. There you go. Yeah. I'll go kind of like that. Get glued down. Oh, I'll keep my hand on it for a minute. And we'll just start slapping some glue on wherever. Hopefully we'll get it sit how I want it to sit. Just hold that for a minute. So how's everyone been? I mean, obviously I catch up with you, Paul and Joe and Stuart. I catch up with you guys last night, but on the Zoom chat. How's everyone else doing? Everyone else keeping alright? Hopefully. Maybe the size of the kit and the amount that may be sold is why they don't make aftermarket. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, just sort of supply and demand, I suppose, eh? Maybe a shame that they didn't have it as an add-on in the kit along with the aftermarket metal, you know, along with the photo etch, maybe. Yeah. Maybe someone just didn't think about that, you know. Right, we've got that bit on. I do have a little extra bit here I need to put back on. Always seems to be brittle, that bit. The plastic's quite brittle on these fine bits. I'll touch like that and that's it. Yeah, sorted. Yeah. Tweak that later on. A bit on there, and then we're good. Yeah, that does like that. See if cheating works. Just up my dinner, sausage mash and onion gravy. Oh, nice and simple, nice tasting. It's like mince and mash, eh? Can't beat it. Can eat it all day long. Right, that's that bit. So that's my deck on. That's fine like that. I might push it down and tweak it a little bit later on. I'll leave it like that while I'm looking. Right, so now I've got this mad cog thing again, by the looks of it. What's that there? Right, okay. We have some boxes to put on too, by the looks of it. However, I am doing the first version, not the second. So according to this, there is no box on that bit. Okay, so I'm going by this on the instructions, you know, but I'm actually doing this one here. There's 4, you see, and they're slightly different. The main structure, like this bit, is exactly the same on all 4, but the tops have a slightly different configuration. Where the boxes go, they're kind of opposite one another, with the rails on the outside. So at one end of the train, they're all kind of this way round, which is the ones I'm doing at the moment. And so this is the far side track. It'll have a railing going across here and a box here, and then on this one over there, the box is here and the railing's here over his side. So, you know, they're like opposites, with one box at one end, and then the other side of the train there's 2 boxes, but they're on opposites. So you just got to try and remember that you got to do them in opposites when you do it, if that makes sense. It kind of will. So I really need to assemble this part and get this on, this little frame with this little block, and then we'll be good. It's quite good once you've got one that you can look at it and go, okay, because the second ones have mad pulleys and all that with 2 boxes on, and they're opposites, because that's the other end of the train. It's the front end of the train. These are the back end of the train ones. So it's still got all the gubbins on this bit, but not on the above bit. D1, D13, B, B, C, D, D. There you go. That's a D sprue. Oh, that's D13 now. We want D1. Probably that bit there by the looks of it. Yeah. Yeah, mate, that's it. It's just remembering though, eh? Because if you get carried away following the instructions, you're going to end up with two of them the wrong way round. If you know what I'm saying, you kind of got to pay attention a little bit to it. But apart from that, it's not too bad. The little metal plates are quite handy because they do say on it, on these Photorex sheets that you get, it does have a little tab there that tells you where my little pinky finger's pointing. It has a little tab there, and that tells you V1, V2 and all that. So you just got to pay attention to which one, because all these are the same, you see, pretty much. Again, you've got E1, E2 times 2, so you've got to remember to put the right one with the right sheet, because the holes are universal, but depending on which one you're doing, the sheet fits on it spot on. It's a bit fiddly, you know, it is what it is. I was looking and I'm like, and then I realised and was like, oh, right, okay. It's simple enough once you realise. And then I double checked on the pictures because I don't trust the instructions. So I was looking at Chris's pictures and I could see that there were opposites, and because it's not very clear on the instructions, to be honest. The instructions, it's just arrows and glue this bit and stick it on. It doesn't really help to a certain degree. Kind of makes it a little bit awkward. So looking at it makes it a little bit easier. Right, so that goes there and then that goes in there. Something like that, if I remember rightly. I'll be honest though, even though it's been like the first time it was a bit of a pain and whatnot, I've actually enjoyed it. It's been alright, actually, build wise. I'm quite enjoying it. So even though there's bits that could be a little bit easier to explain and all that, it's still good. And of course, Joe comes into my shop every so often, and he's like, "Where are you going to put it?" That's all everyone ever says to me. Where are you going to put it? Don't know. Could always scratch build instead of aftermarket. Yeah, it's getting it thin enough strips. You know, you would. I was tempted to pull them off and use coffee sticks, which I have. We all do it, you know. We all nab the coffee sticks, don't we? And I was tempted to use them, especially now, because the coffee sticks now are even thinner than they used to be, because obviously they keep cutting corners, eh? So I had a load of these that I thought of using, but they're even though they're extremely thin, they're still that little bit too thick, which you probably get away with, to be honest. It's only a tiny bit, but it's getting that cut. I would have to take off a piece off of every single stick before I start, if you know what I'm saying. They're just a little bit too wide. I might still do it just because we can, and you said it. What concerns me a little bit is the steps, because these are too wide for this bit, but not wide enough for this bit, the steps. So, and if I'm going to replace the slats here, I would want to replace the steps. I don't think I've got anything wide enough to replace the steps. Not at the right width, unless these really old style ones, which are wider. I'm wondering if that's wide enough. You got me thinking now, you see. Yeah, that could be wide enough, to be fair. Is it thick enough? See, you got me doing something stupid now. Oh, and it's the same thickness. You're an arsehole, because you know what's going to happen now. I'm going to end up scratch building that bit. Right, okay. Do I though? Because I've got horizontals there as well. Am I going to get away with that? No, not ha ha ha. There's horizontals as well. And that's going to increase the height, which I can't do. I don't want to be increasing the height. And then I've got to cut them, not them ones. What size are we? See, you got me thinking now, you bugger. Where's my ruler? Got a ruler around here somewhere. I tidying my bench a little would help. Where is my scale ruler? Okay. Let me think. Right, you see that little bit that I stuck on? I wonder if I nip that off. A bit of tomato glue. I'll just have a little peek. You're a bugger. I wasn't planning on working this bit out yet. A little bit of tomato glue, just release that again. There you go. See? Do it. You'll do it. Right, so there's my slat. A couple of little slats there. So if I'm just looking here now, do you know what? I think I might even get 2 slats out of a stick, if I'm lucky, because that is about there. That definitely looks like about 2 slats, including a little gap. Right, okay, arsehole. And I never swore. I'm just saying it how it is. 2 seconds, I'm going to go and get a Stanley knife and a straight edge. One Stanley knife. We shall see what happens. Oh, we've got a Stanley there. I did have a metal ruler. I really don't know what I've done with it though. I think last time I used it. Not something I normally lose, you know. No, there it is. It's a scale rule, 1/1 scale, 1/75 scale, but it's metal. So it's good when you're cutting and slicing and all that shenanigans. Right, so we're 5mm slats. These are 5mm. So obviously 2.5. I'm hoping that this will cut really easy because they're so thin. And then mark it at 2.5 there. Eyesight's not great. Coffee stick's probably not even bloody straight, but there you go. And we're going to go across there and across to there. And the first coffee stick I pick, and it's not even straight. Right. No, that's not going to work. Let's just move straight away. Right, that's not worked. Must be an easier way. Maybe stand up and lean on it harder. Try it again. Let's get a proper way. Where's a pen? Okay. Eyesight is half my problem here. Trying to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to have to chuck this thing in there in the mix for a minute. I can't see what I'm doing here. Right. 1/1 scale, wherever you are. Any scale. So it's 5, 1, 2.5. There. 1, 2.5. Yeah. We shall try again. Yeah. Oh, moved again. That's it. Right. See if I can get this one. Right. Now, if I'm honest, because the coffee sticks don't look too straight, none of them, that's probably why they're coffee sticks and nothing else in this world. They're, even though I marked it and it's right, you know, they're kind of not even. But then, in theory, I suppose that makes it more natural looking. So in that aspect, I suppose it's a win-win. Scale-wise, I don't know if that would be a win-win. But it would certainly... I could certainly chop them up and make them into an uneven floor. That is the width of that slat. So yeah, I suppose I could just nip that off at the straight at the end there and sit here and prat about all day long. Not today, but there's nothing stopping me taking them back off again because it's only a little tiny bit of Tamiya glue. So if I, in theory, if I put that on there like that, next to it, get my measurement, and I go like that for that one. And then put that there for that one. A lot of effort it would be, however, it would look like that opposed to the plastic. So I suppose in theory, yeah, you could get away with that. And it would look like wood planking all the way along then. You know, just sitting here, just nipping them off at the right lengths. Just playing around really, I suppose. It would take a while. Certainly that. Would it look better? It'd certainly be easier to get the wood grain in effect. You know what I mean? I mean, that was a bit crude what I just did there, but with a little tiny bit more care, cutting the ends off and that lot, cutting it to size. Yeah, I suppose I could get away with that. It would take a little while to replace all them planks and do all 4 bogies, but I wonder what cutting it off with the snips is like for length. Right. So cutting it off with the snips lengthwise is actually neater cut than a Stanley for cutting the lengths, you know. I mean, you know, that one could go there, and then the next one would go there right across, and then you just work your way along, and then it goes to a shorter one, and then back to long. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe I'll sit here and do that. Maybe what I'll do is, before I do that though, I will cut a load of these thin for the slats, just in lengths, and then I'll sit here and trim it and do it on live. And then these ones we'll cut and just put them on as steps. Could you put it outside the shop? The only thing is, what I would say is, if I'm going to do that, I would want to paint this bit first. You know how I'm painting it in sections? I would paint this bit before I start gluing all these bits of wood on. Because the last thing I want to do is get paint all over them bits of wood. Because, you know, I'm going to stain that and do the wood effect. I don't need to do a wood effect. It is wood, you know. Maybe do it like that. So there's food for thought. Anyway, I shall leave that like that, and I shall put that little piece over there out of the way. I know it's there, and I'll think on that. I probably will do that now I'm looking at it. But it's just a thought, isn't it, of cutting all these up. I mean, I've got a whole bag of them. You know, I've got no problems there. You know, courtesy of wherever it was I got them from. Maybe I will do that. If you want more entertainment, why don't you come and join me, Fred and Stuart and Joe on the Zoom meeting on Fridays. Yeah, that's entertaining. Not so much for model building, but it is for everyone else, but not for me. It's more entertaining on the alcohol side of things for me. But yes, if you want to have a giggle and hear more stupid ideas that come out of my head, then I'll just pop them two there for now. Yeah, you're more than welcome to join our Friday Zooms. And even when I'm away at shows or on holiday, I still try to join the Zoom if possible. So it's a good giggle. Right, so of course we've got to go back onto these top pieces here. You know, the top sections where you have one box rather than two. So we need to make a start on that one. And we should grab our next one. This is this one here. With our delightful tab already there. I shall nip that tab off now. Like so. Let me sit that on there like that. Happy days. Right. So on this delightful build, a delightful way of going about things. Apparently, that goes that way. Well, I checked. Remember I said all the lines line up certain ways? Well, that's why I just noticed. That goes on there like that. And that allows me to put my box on and my railings and so forth. Happy days. So I'm doing a single box again. Figure out where that big hole is there. Not very clear where that one goes. Right, put your spuds on. Dinner done, just to grill and wash up. Everything else is done, drip drying. Good stuff. And Paul, you're going to put your spuds on. Awesome, mate. R27. R27 is a big old box. So we've got to build this big old box. 27. Oh. I don't know where they are. That's not it. It's G. It's flooring. C. B. C. Wheels. Oh my gosh. What does an R sprue look like? Have a look. I can't remember. R27. 20. Oh right, okay, it's the one with the bat wings. So I'm looking for a sprue with all the wire rings on it. Some sprue here somewhere with mad bits on it. Not that. Definitely not that. Where on earth my wiry bits? Not it. I sprue around here somewhere with mad shapes on it. I'm just trying to find which one it is. use that many pieces. Like that. Like that. Where on earth is that one? I've seen that one too. Oh dear, where's that gone? Oh dear, where are you? I know what sprue it is as well. That's the awkward bit. Oh, 21 to 46. Yeah. That one there. He's got like a big mad wiry outer bit. Two sides. Which I thought was this one. But it's not. Aha. Found it. Like a dafty, yes I am. Found it. Right, there's a wiry bit, see? So R27. That's the only problem with this kit. Obviously it gets easier as you go down the pile. But trying to find what you need can be a bit of a pain at this stage with all these different sprues everywhere. Right, now got to be more than just that because there's no sides to it, so I must have to make that. Yeah, there you go. So R26, 7 and then P17s. P17s. Like flat bits. That's not it. That's a C, D, B, P. There you go. That's all we need. Yeah, 2 of these. Obviously, the more you build, the less parts there's going to be left on the sprue, so that's not going to be as bad. But it's all that one piece on one sprue, and then another piece on another sprue, and then you're looking around for bits. And it's like, where are they gone? And then you find them. Right. Right. Happy days there anyway. Making first box. What are we doing for time? Alright. Yeah, box glued together. one side on. And just work the other side on. And that's all it. So. Now, push that down a minute. I don't want to glue it on and then it's not sitting right, if you know what I mean. Let it sit right before you put it on. And then that goes on there like that, I believe. Through that wire mesh. And into that hole. Yeah, and that'll go on there like that. Once it's cleaned up a little, fitted properly. Yeah, hear that little click there. Yeah, we've got our little box on there. Super duper. And then that will go on there like this, like the other one, and it'll have the railings going round. So this is the rear of the train, so it will sit like that. On the railway tracks it'll be like that, and then this one will be the same way round, so the wooden side all at this end. This is the back end of the train. They'll sit like that next to one another, and then that one will sit opposite it like that, obviously at the same height when you decide to put it in the holes properly and whatnot, and not have it sitting on a thick book. But basically it'll sit like that on the railway line. Like that. So that's how you got to remember, because your boxes, so the rail on this one will go right the way around the back here, and then across just a little tiny bit here, and the chaps can walk up and do what they've got to do here, and so forth. And then once I've done that, I've got to do the other end. But yeah, so that's how it's going to sit once I get the frames around on the next one. And the wood deck that you lot are conning me into, or conning myself into, or whatever. So we'll get this fence rails on, or make a start on it. So there's the rails there, just going across for that single one, and a couple of little rails there, just like last time. There's my phone going. That's probably the missus, because it's nearly time to go, and I think she's getting a Chinese. That's me leaving, going to the grounds to the Royal Chef. So yeah. Okay. I'll just finish up my live and lock up and catch you in a minute. Now I put, that's okay, I'll just finish up my live, lock up and catch you in 5 minutes. She's going for a Chinese, so I'm not going to hang about any tonight. You know, like sometimes I go over the time. I'm not going to do that today. So I'm just going to leave it at that because we've got 3 minutes and I'm not going to get my rails cut in 3 minutes. So guys, listen, I'm not going to be live for the next 2 weeks. The next time I'm live is the 26th, I believe. On Friday I'm away on holiday for a couple of weeks, so I won't be open. There'll be no online, there'll be no nothing. Okay, you can still send me a message, but I'm going to be in sunny Spain, so don't expect me to be able to look up anything and tell you anything shop related, because I'm going to try and avoid it as much as possible. So like I say, the next 2 weeks I won't be live. Okay, but you know how to get a hold of me, most of you. If you want to, just send me a text or whatever. And if you follow me on social media, you'll see holiday pics, but I am not going to be here. So the next time I'll be here live carrying on doing the rails and shit will be the 26th. Okay, just so you know, I'm not disappeared off the face of the planet like people sometimes think when I'm not on my live. It's just I'm away on holiday. Okay, so but feel free to message me still. You know, if I can answer a question even when I'm on holiday, I will do. It's not a problem. Do you know what I mean? Don't burn. Oof, I was like a strawberry last year in Tenerife, so there's a good chance I'm going to burn, but I'll wear better sun cream this year. I learnt my lesson last year. That was a sore one. But happy days. Anyway, guys, listen, you all take care. Thanks very much for the thumbs up, the likes, the viewers, the comments, the chat, and everything else. Appreciate it 100%. And yeah, I'll see you in a few weeks' time. And take care until then. And then we'll carry on. We're getting there. Not if I'm going to do wood slash, we're not getting there, but we're getting there. No worries anyway, right guys, you take care, and I'll see you all soon. Alright, bye for now.